tension in the studio was palpable as Donald Trump leaned across the table toward Barack Obama, attempting to assert dominance with his signature smirk and exaggerated gestures. Cameras rolled, capturing every twitch, every movement, as millions of viewers tuned in live. Trump began his opening salvo with sharp, pointed criticisms, aiming to unsettle Obama and provoke an emotional reaction. His voice was loud, confident, and filled with bravado, each word carefully crafted to intimidate. The audience sensed the brewing storm, murmuring among themselves as they anticipated a clash of two of the most recognizable political figures of the era. Yet Obama remained calm, his posture relaxed, eyes steady, and a faint, almost imperceptible smile playing at the corner of his mouth. He wasn't rattled, at least not outwardly, and that subtle calm set the stage for what was about to happen. Trump pressed on, trying to bait Obama with aggressive accusations and thinly veiled insults. "You had 8 years, and what did you really accomplish?" he barked, leaning forward to emphasize every word. He expected a reaction, a defensive rebuttal, an emotional counter, something that could be broadcast as weakness. The audience shifted uneasily, sensing the intensity of the moment, but Obama sat back, listening attentively, taking in every syllable, every inflection. His composed demeanor contrasted starkly with Trump's brash energy, creating a tension that felt almost tangible. When the former president finally spoke, his words were deliberate, measured, and effortlessly cutting. "It's interesting," Obama began, his tone calm but firm, "how some people mistake loudness for leadership." The statement hit like a jolt of electricity through the studio. The audience froze, unsure whether to cheer or gasp. Trump blinked, momentarily caught off guard, and his confident smirk faltered. Obama continued, each word chosen with precision. "True leadership doesn't come from intimidation. It comes from respect, integrity, and the ability to listen before speaking." The line wasn't delivered with anger or derision. It carried authority and insight, the kind that instantly reframed the conversation. The audience, both live and at home, recognized that something remarkable had just occurred. Trump attempted to interrupt, but his words stumbled over the clarity of Obama's calm response. "You see, when you rely on theatrics and volume rather than substance, it's hard to make an impact that truly matters," Obama continued. The statement landed heavily, exposing the contrast between impulsive aggression and calculated composure. The studio fell silent, everyone acutely aware of the power dynamic shift. Even Trump's aides, usually quick to interject or defend, sat frozen as the former president's words hung in the air. What had begun as an attempt at intimidation had now become a masterclass in measured rhetorical skill. The tension built as Trump searched for a comeback, his usual arsenal of insults and interruptions failing him. Obama, by contrast, maintained a steady, unflinching gaze, calmly dissecting the attempted provocation without raising his voice. The audience leaned forward, captivated by the unfolding drama. Social media was already lighting up with real-time reactions as viewers marveled at the sheer precision and control Obama exhibited. Every gesture, every pause, every syllable underscored his dominance in the conversation, proving that restraint and intellect often overpower theatrics and bluster. As the discussion shifted to policy and governance, Obama continued to assert his points with clarity and authority. He didn't need to escalate, insult, or attack. His mastery of facts and logic created a natural rebuttal to Trump's attempts at intimidation. The former president's calm, deliberate tone left no room for distraction or diversion. The audience was spellbound, many whispering to each other about the stark contrast between the two figures. The studio cameras captured fleeting expressions of frustration on Trump's face, a subtle but telling sign that the attempted intimidation had failed completely. By mid-segment, the atmosphere had completely changed. Trump's aggressive energy had dissipated, replaced with defensive glances and hesitant body language. Obama's steady confidence had shifted the balance entirely. Every attempt to assert dominance was neutralized by composure, intelligence, and precise language. Analysts would later describe this exchange as a textbook example of how a calm and calculated approach can dismantle intimidation without ever raising one's voice. The public could see that Obama was not only unshaken, but entirely in control of the narrative. Toward the end of the segment, Obama delivered another pointed remark, solidifying his upper hand. Leadership is not about who can shout the loudest, or try to overpower others, he said. It's about earning trust, listening carefully, and acting with integrity. The audience erupted in applause, some standing, as the line resonated far beyond the studio. Trump tried a final jab, but it landed hollow, the impact of Obama's words already cemented in the minds of viewers. The former president had not just defended himself. He had completely shifted the conversation and set the terms on which it would be remembered. After the cameras stopped rolling, social media exploded. Clips of the segment went viral, news outlets replayed the moment repeatedly, and commentators dissected every pause and inflection. Obama's response became the definitive example of a verbal clapback that balanced intelligence, authority, and calmness. The line about loudness versus leadership was quoted endlessly, turning a tense confrontation into a teachable moment about respect, credibility, and the power of measured speech. Analysts, political enthusiasts, and everyday viewers alike marveled at how one carefully chosen statement could so thoroughly neutralize aggression and intimidation. Ultimately, the exchange left a lasting impression on the public. It wasn't just a moment of political theater. It was a demonstration of how intellect, composure, and strategic communication can dominate even the most aggressive adversary. Obama's calm yet incisive responses proved that intimidation can be countered not with volume, but with clarity, wit, and presence. For millions watching, the segment became an enduring example of effective leadership, showing that sometimes the most powerful response is the one delivered quietly, confidently, and with unwavering authority. The aftermath of the live broadcast was immediate and widespread. Clips of Obama's clapback circulated across every major social media platform, garnering millions of views within hours. News networks replayed the moment repeatedly, analyzing the precision of his delivery and the effect it had on Trump's demeanor. Pundits debated the exchange at length, many praising Obama for maintaining his composure while delivering a line that completely neutralized an aggressive opponent. Fans of both politics and public speaking shared the clip as an example of strategic communication, noting how restraint and intellect often triumph over aggression and theatrics. In the days following, Obama's performance was referenced in Ausbildung, classrooms, leadership seminars, and workshops as a prime example of how to handle confrontation with poise. Students and professionals alike studied the timing, tone, and choice of words, emphasizing that a calm, calculated approach can have far greater impact than shouting or attacking. Meanwhile, Trump's team struggled to regain control of the narrative as public sentiment largely favored Obama's measured and incisive response. The single line about loudness versus leadership had transcended the segment, becoming a cultural touchstone and a reminder that true authority is grounded in respect, intelligence, and integrity. Weeks after the broadcast, the impact of Obama's clapback continued to resonate across political and social media landscapes. Analysts revisited the segment, highlighting the contrast between Trump's aggressive attempts and Obama's calm, commanding responses. Opinion pieces explored the psychological aspects of the exchange, noting how the use of measured speech, well-timed pauses, and precise phrasing can completely disarm even the most provocative opponent. The moment became a benchmark for debates, interviews, and even corporate leadership training, illustrating the power of strategic communication under pressure. Meanwhile, ordinary viewers shared their own experiences of standing up to intimidation, often citing Obama's example as inspiration. Teachers incorporated the clip into lessons on rhetoric, leadership, and civics, demonstrating to students how confidence and intellect can prevail over bluster and bullying. Public speakers and debate coaches dissected the exchange frame by frame, emphasizing the subtle but critical role of composure and presence. Even months later, social media users continued quoting the line, creating memes, discussion threads, and reaction videos that ensured its place in the public consciousness. The event transcended politics, becoming a universal lesson in respect, authority, and the impact of words delivered with precision. By the following year, the segment had become iconic, frequently cited in media retrospectives about memorable political moments. News outlets highlighted it as a turning point in televised exchanges, where intellect and composure decisively outweighed intimidation tactics. Leadership seminars and public speaking courses use the clip as required viewing, demonstrating to students how to maintain authority and control in tense situations. The line about loudness versus leadership became shorthand for effective communication, referenced not just in politics but in business, education, and even everyday interpersonal conflicts. The cultural impact extended beyond formal education, and media analysis, memes, GIFs, and short video clips of Obama's calm yet devastating remarks circulated endlessly online. Social media users created threads dissecting the line, sharing reactions, and debating its significance. Discussions arose about the difference between volume and substance, aggression and credibility, emphasizing that measured speech often leaves a deeper and longer-lasting impression than noise or theatrics. In households, classrooms, and offices alike, the clip was replayed, serving as both inspiration and a reminder of the power of tact, intelligence, and timing in communication. Several months later, the exchange continued to influence political discourse and media commentary. Pundits repeatedly referenced Obama's calm clapback as an example of how to handle provocation without losing composure. It became a case study in leadership programs, illustrating the importance of preparation, timing, and precision in communication. Viewers analyzed every gesture, every pause, and every word, noting how restraint and confidence can decisively outweigh aggression. The moment had become more than just a televised exchange. It was a lesson in credibility, influence, and the strategic use of words. Beyond politics, the clip inspired conversations about conflict resolution and personal interactions. Teachers, coaches, and mentors cited the example when teaching negotiation skills, public speaking, and emotional intelligence. People shared it in discussions about workplace dynamics, emphasizing that measured factual responses are often more effective than aggressive or emotional reactions. The line had become a benchmark, a cultural reference point demonstrating that authority and respect are earned through poise, insight, and the ability to remain calm under pressure, rather than through volume or intimidation. Years after the broadcast, Obama's line remained a touchstone in discussions about effective communication and leadership. Analysts, historians, and commentators often revisited the clip when comparing different approaches to public confrontation. Its influence extended beyond politics, appearing in leadership workshops, business seminars, and communication courses around the world. The moment demonstrated that intellect and composure could not only counter intimidation, but also reshape public perception, leaving a lasting imprint on viewers and participants alike. Social media continued to circulate the clip, with new generations discovering it as an example of strategic mastery. Memes, articles, and reaction videos proliferated, highlighting the ongoing relevance of the lesson. Calm, precise words have far more impact than loud, aggressive rhetoric. Even years later, discussions about public speaking, negotiation, and conflict resolution referenced Obama's calm clapback, ensuring that the moment retained its status as a definitive example of how measured authority can decisively dominate even the most aggressive opponent.